Have you ever wondered why some people succeed despite facing overwhelming obstacles, while others, seemingly more talented, fall short? It's a question that has puzzled people for years, but in Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance, Angela Duckworth offers a groundbreaking answer. She believes that the key to outstanding achievement isn't talent, luck, or intelligence, but something far more powerful: grit. But what exactly is grit, and how can it make all the difference in our lives? Duckworth's exploration of this concept shows us that it's not just about working hard. It's about staying passionate and persevering in the face of challenges. Today, we're diving into the core ideas of this life-changing book and how it could transform the way you approach your own goals. Angela Duckworth begins her book by giving us a glimpse into her own life, showing us how her childhood was shaped by a nagging feeling of inadequacy. Despite being intelligent and hardworking, Duckworth always felt like she didn't measure up to her peers, especially in the eyes of her father, who constantly reminded her that she was not as smart as others. This persistent feeling of not being good enough pushed her to prove herself. But no matter how hard she tried, it wasn't until she embarked on a journey of self-discovery that she found the key to unlocking success. While most people thought talent was the ultimate determinant of achievement, Duckworth realized something different. It wasn't about talent at all. It was about grit. Her story is incredibly humanizing and relatable. Many of us have experienced a moment when we've doubted our abilities or compared ourselves to others, wondering if we were enough. Duckworth's personal journey is the perfect illustration of how talent can often be overestimated and perseverance underestimated. Growing up, Duckworth was often compared to others who seemed to achieve success more easily. For years, she tried various conventional methods to get ahead, from studying harder to trying to be more talented, but nothing seemed to make the lasting impact she had hoped for. It wasn't until she discovered the power of grit that she realized that talent alone couldn't predict success. Passion and perseverance were the real driving forces behind long-term achievement. What she discovered changed her life and the way she approached both her personal and professional endeavors. Grit, Duckworth argues, is the passion and perseverance to pursue long-term goals, no matter the difficulty. It's the ability to stay committed, no matter how many obstacles come your way. Her turning point came when she realized that success wasn't about being naturally gifted. It was about working hard, having a clear vision, and refusing to quit, even when it felt impossible. This realization is what propelled Duckworth to become a leading researcher on the subject, eventually creating her own character lab at the University of Pennsylvania. Through her research, she set out to understand why some people push through difficulties while others give up, and what she found was extraordinary. At its core, grit is about commitment. Duckworth defines grit as the combination of passion for a single objective and the perseverance to achieve that objective despite obstacles, setbacks, and even failure. It's a simple concept, but one that runs counter to the way we traditionally think about success. In today's world, we tend to believe that success is built on natural talent, and we often glorify individuals who seem to have an innate ability to excel in their fields. But Duckworth's research reveals something entirely different. What truly matters is not how smart you are or how much talent you possess. What matters is your ability to remain focused on a goal for the long haul, even when it seems easier to give up. Duckworth's extensive research reveals that grit is not an innate quality, but something that can be cultivated over time. She discovered that people who display grit tend to have a deep, abiding passion for what they do. Their work isn't just a job or a task, it's something they genuinely care about. This passion isn't fleeting. It's a long-term commitment to a goal. Duckworth draws a parallel between talent and grit, showing that while talent may give you an initial boost, it's grit that ultimately leads to lasting success. To illustrate this point, Duckworth shares a variety of compelling examples. Take the story of West Point cadets, for instance. West Point is one of the most rigorous military academies in the world, and every year many highly talented individuals apply, hoping to gain admission. Yet, the admissions process isn't just about selecting the most talented applicants. In fact, Duckworth discovered that the most important predictor of success at West Point wasn't IQ or athletic ability, but something else entirely: grit. Those cadets who stayed committed to the long, grueling process, despite the difficulties and hardships, were more likely to make it through to the end, even if they weren't the most naturally talented. This insight from Duckworth's research makes a crucial distinction. Talent may give you a head start, but it's grit that keeps you in the race. To illustrate this point further, Duckworth offers the example of National Spelling Bee finalists. While most of us might think that the children who excel in the spelling bee are gifted in language or have a natural knack for spelling, Duckworth found that the top-performing spellers were not necessarily the most gifted. Instead, they were the ones who spent the most time practicing. They were the ones who had the grit to keep going, day after day, no matter how difficult the words got. This concept, though simple, is revolutionary. Duckworth's research flies in the face of the popular belief that success is driven by talent alone. Instead, she champions the idea that persistence, when paired with passion, is the true formula for success. So, what does this all mean for you? How can you apply Duckworth's principles of grit to your own life? One of the key takeaways from grit is that success is not about having a fixed mindset, the idea that your abilities are limited and unchangeable, but rather about adopting a growth mindset. People with a growth mindset believe that their abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. This mindset allows them to embrace challenges, learn from mistakes, and ultimately persevere in the face of difficulty. Duckworth also introduces a powerful concept she calls effort counts twice. What she means by this is that effort doesn't just increase the chances of success, it compounds over time. Talent might get you started, but it's effort that carries you across the finish line. The effort you put into improving, practicing, and refining your skills is what propels you forward. And when you combine effort with passion, when you care deeply about what you're doing, that's when the magic happens. This dual force of passion and perseverance is what makes grit so powerful. In addition to defining grit, Duckworth also explores how we can cultivate it in our own lives. She provides a roadmap for developing grit by fostering passion and perseverance through both psychological and practical strategies. For example, she emphasizes the importance of setting long-term goals and sticking to them, even when the initial excitement fades. Duckworth also suggests that to build grit, we need to practice deliberate practice, a process of purposeful and focused work on the areas that need improvement. This means pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, accepting that failure is part of the journey, and using that failure as a learning tool. Duckworth doesn't just offer abstract concepts, she makes them actionable. She talks about the power of having a calling. If you can align your work with something you truly care about, you'll find the strength to keep going, even when the going gets tough. She encourages readers to reflect on their passions and identify what drives them, urging them to stay committed to those pursuits, no matter how difficult or tedious the road ahead may seem. Furthermore, Duckworth underscores the importance of community and support in building grit. She shares how surrounding yourself with like-minded, gritty individuals can help reinforce your own commitment and perseverance. Whether it's a mentor, a friend, or a colleague, having people around you who encourage and challenge you can make a huge difference in staying the course. Ultimately, Duckworth's message is about embracing the process. Grit is about understanding that success doesn't come instantly. It takes time, effort, and persistence. Whether you're pursuing a career, learning a new skill, or striving for personal growth, Duckworth encourages you to keep going, even when the path gets rough. In her view, the true key to success lies not in being the most talented or the smartest, but in being the one who refuses to give up. To wrap things up, Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance is an eye-opening book that challenges our traditional beliefs about success. Duckworth's research on grit shows us that talent may not be enough. Passion and perseverance are the real drivers of achievement. By cultivating these traits, we can unlock our full potential and achieve goals that once seemed out of reach. It's not always about natural ability. It's about sticking with it, even when the odds are against you. So, the next time you find yourself facing a challenge, remember, it's not about being the best. It's about being the one who keeps going, no matter what. Embrace the power of grit, and you'll be unstoppable.